So we're back this week. I actually read a kind of an interesting self-help news story
No.
this past week, kind of related to the chiropractors. There was like
Axis of evil that is.
there was a group in Canada that people are getting mad at now because they're practicing spine alignment on newborn babies.
Jesus. Is nothing sacred?
What group is this?
yeah.
I don't know, it's like
Other than Satanists.
there's like a society in
SS
Canada.
Yeah.
group is doing spine alignment.
Oh my God. And is there any reason?
Wait, define newborn. You mean like
Like
6
infants.
months or like 2 weeks?
Does it matter?
Yeah.
Would it
I
actually
mean, one
make
is
a difference?
definitely worse.
Yeah, well, for sure.
If
6 months.
2 days after, like,
yeah.
all right, wash him up and let's fucking start cracking his.
Wait, so what reason is there for that? Is like babies born
What do
with
you
like
mean?
horrible spine issues, or
Trying to same reason we get chiropractor. You're trying to
to unblock.
shit.
They say it's to unblock their nervous system interference from birth.
now is that a real thing?
what is nervous center?
Yeah.
What is
I've literally never heard that.
what is
term.
nervous? How does birth interfere with your nervous system?
They say there's a lot of trauma caused by childbirth, and
You know what causes
No.
trauma? Breaking my fucking spine when I'm 3 weeks old.
it blocks the nervous system.
How do
and
you explain
so,
that to your kid when your kid's 12 and he's like, "So why can't I walk, mom?" And you have to explain that it's because
Well, I got real into crystals, and someone brought me a book, and they said that your birth caused you a lot of bad vibes, and they had a Groupon. So anyway,
Yeah, it's
your wheelchair gets you to cut in line at Disney World. I think it was a real win for the family.
they're called the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. So kind of an official sounding name. But yeah, they crack babies' necks.
How are we not getting sued for defamation? Like, I feel like, because, dude, I see.
it's not defamation. I mean, that's what they do. That's not defamation. Is a lie.
I don't think their business model is just. There's a chart that says crack babies' necks. If someone.
What, do they pay you off or some shit? Why you fucking defending them?
That'd be
all of a
great if
sudden?
I walked to the chiropractor office and they approached me like a bag full of money. Like,
Yeah.
We know where your mother lives.
It says they do it between like on 1 month to 2 month year olds. So it's pretty.
That's insane.
That's like-
you're
that's
just a bag of
extremely young.
goop at that point.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can barely.
You poke them in their
Yeah,
head.
you
they
have to
can't.
like hold their head so they're fucking.
Yeah, we're gonna have some like really messed up children
Oh.
in a couple of years with the vaccinations and the extremities from this
We're not gonna-
chiropractic.
You're not gonna have. They're gonna be dead. You're not gonna have children.
That was just kind of a interesting little news story.
Interesting little news story. What the hell are you talking about? It's horrible. That is, I'm like, we should
Fucking-
call a congressman.
A
or
cult
something.
in Canada that is mutilating children. That's kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
that's a little quirky. Yeah. Anyway, what are you gonna do with this world?
News of the week.
Yeah,
you know?
Oh God, happy Thursday, everybody. God.
But anyways, yeah, the book I picked up was
Oh, that didn't even have to. I thought we were gonna do a whole episode on.
no,
And I was like, oh, chiropractors are evil. Like we were gonna
no, it
about
was
to
just
put down the mic, pick up guns, and go settle this.
Plumbing said he wanted more relevant topics on this podcast, so I thought
That's irrelevant.
You know?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Well, if you live in Canada, look out. Jesus.
so. I picked up "Manly Manners" by Wayne James.
That is a.
What is? Wait,
fucking-
you want to pass me that? What does that cover? Because it looks like a man.
This book is like 500 pages.
Yeah, first of all, it's
It's
extremely big.
It's
Yeah.
800 pages.
Jesus.
Not only is it 800 pages, it's part one of a 3-volume
three-book?
treatise.
You know the Bible's only like 300, and it's supposed to tell you everything you need to know to live your life by.
It has a cover of a shirtless man in skinny jeans and a top hat. He's also not even like that buff of a man. He's kind of just like a kind of scrawny teenager guy. Like he's not like
That's a pretty good abs. I'm not gonna.
pretty good at, but he's not like The Rock. He's
It
like,
looks
yeah,
like
he's an
someone
average
got
guy.
like Googled clip art like tough guy and just threw all of that on the cover.
Why is he?
Yeah.
Why is he wearing a top hat?
I don't. This is like I feel like an android trying to write a self-help book about.
It's 800.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How to be human man, and it's just
so this is part one of a 3-volume treatise.
Jesus.
It's
Christ.
already 800 pages, volume 1. But the first volume is Lifestyle and Modern Etiquette. The second volume is The Cultivation of the Inner Spiritual Gentleman. And the third volume is The Masculine Luxuries.
We've read a couple of these man type books before. What's the difference between this and some of the other ones?
This one's more focused
This
on...
one is 700 pages. Is the difference is 2,000 pages.
This one's more focused on etiquette, and it was also written in 2016.
Oh, so it's an updated version.
Um,
King James version of the manly manners.
yeah, and obviously I didn't read the whole thing.
Yeah, I see that bookmark is talked. Did you
I
only do
think,
like 300 pages?
I think maybe in the future we'll revisit this book.
The fact that you read more than 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the first 200 pages, but it's written by Wayne James, who was born in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and he calls himself the bad boy of good manners.
Like quite possibly the lamest thing you could ever. If you had to be the bad boy of anything.
Good man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a bad boy of
He
good?
just like he puts
Let
the
me- let
soup
me-
spoon on the
let me-
wrong side of the plate.
Let me get that door for you, bitch.
And looks around.
No, but I don't know. I don't know why he calls himself that, because when I was reading the book, it was kind of pretty standard.
I feel like that's something you would say like in front of your grandma to kill or something.
Maybe he calls himself the bad boy of good manners because he's currently incarcerated.
Oh well.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Why is
Then
he in
you're-
prison?
then
right
I don't think you have good manners then.
Did he write this book in prison, or he just?
Well, he was the U.S. Senator of the U.S. Virgin Islands, and he committed like
The U.S. Virgin Islands is a senator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of it.
the territories.
So then what? Wait, so this guy? Wait, why is the senator of the U.S. Virgin Islands writing manly manners books? I mean, I know we don't.
I think
I know their economy is not doing great, but I mean, shit, is this what they got to do?
He was arrested on behalf of the United States because he was committing financial fraud as a U.S. senator.
That's pretty bad manners. It's not very bad.
not very polite.
Yeah. And so he said he went to Europe to write this book, but he was actually in Europe to flee the United States. He said he needed a more stimulating environment, but it was just because.
Prison
Yeah,
is-
yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty
More
fucking
stimulating
similar.
than prison. Yeah, for sure.
But
No
then,
wonder that book's so long.
but then Italy extradited him and they put him in prison in Italy. And just last year they actually finally completed the court case and imprisoned him in the
Forever.
United States. Yeah.
Did he? So is it so long because he just writes these from prison? Is it all like prison manners?
No.
Oh, okay.
He does weirdly talk
Yeah,
about.
page 4 is
There could be prison manners, but
Sure.
I don't know. He does talk about obeying the laws a lot because, well, he talks about sex a lot, and he says you should always
He
obey.
just misses it. I think I would do.
He says you should always obey like sexual laws because if you don't, you're gonna have more sex than you bargained for in prison.
Well, I mean,
Which
I
is
guess
kind
that's
yeah, that's one reason.
one way to look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not really the most moral thing.
Yeah. Just because you'll be locked up.
Yeah,
It's like, well,
don't-
also you'll be a horrible human. Commit one of the worst crimes of man. Did you see that thing with Donald Trump recently where he accused of raping a person?
Oh, he said she's not my
and he's like,
type?
yeah, not my type. And I'm like, well, so you're saying like, oh, if she was, I totally would. But there is a type that I would. I'm like, you're the president of the United States, and you respond in the most frat
Yeah,
boy.
it doesn't. At this point, it doesn't mean anything. President doesn't mean shit. Prime Minister doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. You're just a guy. At this
The fact that he said like, yeah, she's not hot enough, and like
It's
F is
almost
basically
Yeah.
that's
like,
almost
fuck
the,
yeah.
the good thing that he's done is that like now and it's like you don't have to respect when the prime minister of Canada is like I'm like but you're just a guy. They're all just people who are just
Well,
Well,
he's taught like a lot of politicians that you just have to wait out that like all the people in Virginia, they still have their
so you
jobs.
basically just wait shit out.
Yeah, like the person that did blackface, and there was another Democratic person who was
There's another Democrat guy who got accused of blackface shit.
Yeah, two of them.
I know it was
Well,
Ralph Northam.
the mayor was
Ralph
accused of
Northam was one. He was
blackface.
the governor.
And then the second in command was accused of sexual harassment, and then the third in command was also accused of blackface. And they all
The
have
governor
their
was
jobs.
accused of blackface, right? Ralph
Yeah.
Northam. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Well, first
That'd
of
be
all-
great if they're
also, he was-
denying the allegations.
He was
like,
not.
in
He was not
blackface.
accused. I saw the picture. It is him. It's not an accusation.
Yeah. So Wayne James, he went to law school, but in his last year he dropped out and started doing fashion design in New York. And that's how he kind of I don't know. That's what his career was before he became a senator in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So this guy's
I
done
feel like you gotta have way better qualifications to just become a fucking senator. Obviously not vetted
in the
them
U.S.
enough.
Virgin Islands.
I don't know that much about the U.S. I was like, I kind of just thought, like, what is it even other than a cruise ship destination?
It's just like basically that. It's just a territory.
It's,
of the US.
so it's basically, how Puerto Rico's not doing great right now? Yeah, so imagine that's worse. And that's
Yeah. He also has a line of Caribbean seasonings called Wayne James seasoning.
Yeah, they aren't doing. He's a senator. This dude has like 10 scams going at the same. He's also an
He's
Uber
like-
driver, and he
that
sells
Dos-
weed too.
That Dos Equis commercial, like the most interesting man in the world. He's like the most boring version of that.
Yeah, he calls them Wayne James seasonings for men.
Jesus.
And he has 5 flavors: original, salt-free, vegetarian, seafood, and game time.
Also sells fake Gucci bags on the sidewalk on.
So he was in the Virgin Islands. He actually got his fraud was he sent a bunch of like false invoices because he said he was going to do research on like this historical slavery thing, and then he did like a bunch of false invoices and took the money.
I don't know what I mean.
He's
Seems like a genius. That's the type of man we need in our government. An innovator.
yeah. And then
What do you have to investigate? You're like, yeah, it happened. Okay, give me 3,000.
this I didn't even like look this up. This was all in his about the author.
Oh, he just said it in the intro. He just admitted to it. He's like, yeah, I've been in the clink, did a scam.
Yeah. And he said after getting out of prison, he's writing this and he says he was known to have quipped, "Now I have friends in high and low places."
He's writing like his own mediocre statements off getting.
Yeah. And he does have each chapter begins with like a quote from himself too. So
There's nothing more disgusting.
Yeah, then quoting yourself. A great man once,
do you think his original name was Wayne James?
No.
Yeah, that also sounds like the most like trying to make up a cowboy tough fake name.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like if a penis had to pick a
Also,
name,
is that I don't know the culture of the U.S. Virgin Islands, but is that what their names are like? Wayne James?
I don't know.
I don't think it's that.
I think it's like Caribbean and that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a very Caribbean name, is
Yeah.
it? We get into it. Chapter 1, he says, why etiquette,
So you don't end up in prison. Generally, I think it's you obey laws and traditions. So you don't be thrown in a cage.
He says that manners are still important in life. And he says, like, why wouldn't a woman prefer a man who keeps his condoms in a silver box in his glove compartment versus one who keeps a rubber in his wallet? Or
I don't think it really matters.
First off, you're not supposed to keep them in either one of those places. they don't they like melt and shit, and it's like heat and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, in your back pocket. I don't think.
You can keep, so you can keep them.
I've honestly never had condoms long enough to know any of them.
I thought
I always buy them like last minute, and it's because it's kind of gross. We pull them over. It's like, oh, I don't have. Well, I guess we'll just. Like, oh no, I never thought about. I guess we'll just have to have fun instead. It's a tragedy.
That is a move that it's very obvious, but it's all about the sell. You're like, I don't.
I mean, what are we gonna do?
The worst thing is that if she pulls it, she's like, "Oh, I have one." Like,
You're like,
her
"No,
place,
yeah."
yeah, her place. Like, you got a condom? I'm like, nah, it's like, oh, it's okay, I got one. And I was like, oh, we don't I mean, like, let's not just jump to conclusions.
really
We haven't
is.
really discussed what the plan was here. I didn't know we had a whole negotiation.
Yeah. And he says, like, wouldn't a woman also prefer a husband who knows spoons and knives go on the left of the dinner plate? Or, like, wouldn't a law partner want to have associates who won't order port at dinner and embarrass them? So,
Yes, I mean, that's how far I am from civil.
I don't know
what
if,
any of that means.
yeah.
port?
Do you,
Is that
do
a
you know
co-
what port is?
Type of wine?
I was asking Kenyon.
I'm not because I was gonna wait for Kwame to embarrass himself and then pretend like I was better, but I don't know. I don't.
Have you guys ever thought you could use more etiquette in your life?
Probably, but I mean, I think I need the money first before we go to these restaurants. Where
Yeah, I'd have to
cares?
start hanging out with people who give a shit about etiquette.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like etiquette to me is just like if I pour ranch on the plate instead of an egg.
So you're saying like if you went out to dinner and the
Our
lady
version of etiquette is, hey, don't be an asshole and do 2 lines at once. Make
yeah.
sure you pass.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
One line at once. Don't
Stop hogging the blunt. That's,
Yeah.
that's etiquette.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
But like you're saying you don't think etiquette would be that helpful when the lady
We're not doing great enough in life to have etiquette.
Yeah, like when the lady's paying for your dinner, she's not gonna be like, well, he had such great
Yeah,
manners or whatever.
when he's stuffing the spoons in his pocket to sell later. I don't think.
How do you feel about that? Do you think that a man should pay, like first date? You think a man should pay for the meal, or you split it, or what?
Split it.
You split it.
I like
you
it.
would like demand, like you would demand that you split it.
What do you mean demand that
Like the bill comes and she looks at you like, oh, so what are you gonna?
I feel like it kind of feels like a little cold to split it sometimes because I feel like that's what you do.
It's like a
with friend.
$45 bill. 45, 50.
I don't know.
60?
I think it's like a gross, like primal. Like I got this. I got things going on.
I mean,
even though you don't.
That's one of it, but
Yeah,
also
yeah.
it is expected because you want to know. You want to be like, hey, I got.
Yeah. I got things going on.
Because it's the first test. It's just like, can he handle $45?
Yeah. And no, it's the answer. and I mean, the card will decline, but I like that she sees that I'm a believer. You know that.
How would you feel if you went to pay and then she's like, no, I got this?
I'd feel amazing.
I'd feel like I'm gonna marry her. I feel like
Yeah.
I'll just get on my knees right there and feel like this is my wife.
So do you offer to pay, or do you wait for her to bring it up?
Huh?
You're on a first date.
I feel like
It's
I automatically
expensive.
assume I'm gonna-
$75 bill.
Yeah.
You just take the
The
hit.
savings account is 4. It's the only thing I'm saving for.
Just take the hit.
Yeah.
I went on a first date once where I forgot my wallet and then she had to pay.
What,
You never saw her again after that.
Yeah, was
No,
that
I
a second
did.
date?
Oh, you did? It was
Yeah.
like this. It was tough. You're like, we will still live together.
But so that's his argument for etiquette. That he still thinks manners are important in life.
I mean, I think there's basic things that I think. I just
Yeah.
think when it comes to dining etiquette, I just need to be able to afford to eat in these restaurants.
Hold the door
before I
open or
learn
whatever.
it. Yeah.
Someone was telling me, like I have a friend who works with like disabled people, and he was saying that you shouldn't, you're not supposed to like if you see a guy in a wheelchair and he's like going to a door, you're not supposed to hold the door open for them, like help them with groceries or whatever, because that's. He was saying a lot of them consider that rude because you're like taking their autonomy away.
You know, I think that's like an individual thing.
Really?
Yeah. I
So you
hate
see a
when
guy-
people make a generalization that's like,
That's
oh,
what he was
the
saying.
disabled league has gotten together.
That's
They
what he was
don't want-
saying. So say you see a guy in a wheelchair and he's going to go in the door. Do you like run and go open the door for him?
Yeah,
or you
because
just
he's
leave?
in a fucking wheelchair.
But he was saying, what he was telling me is that like he's like, so these people can't do a lot of things, so it's like you're taking away one of the things that they can do.
Yeah, but if I was in a wheelchair and some dude was like, I just want you to be free and independent, you're like, fuck no. I'm not, I can't have children open the fucking door for me.
What's the worst that happens if you open the door for a disabled
Well,
person?
they're not gonna be-
Versus if you don't open it and just
Yeah,
watch them.
and then you're like, I wanted him to be a man. God damn it, I didn't want to
You
take.
feel bad. And the guy, well, he was saying you don't. He was saying not to do it unless they like ask you to do it.
Yeah, but the wheelchair is the ask.
Or you can like ask a guy, hey, do you need me to get this door for you? And he
asking
says yes.
someone to open the door for you
Okay, well,
while
do-
you're
do you do
disabled
it or
is
do you
like a
ask
lot.
first? So you see a disabled guy walking up to the door. Do you ask, can I get this door for you, or you just go open it?
I just open it.
You just open it.
Yeah, I open
You're
it
supposed
for
to ask-
anybody.
You're supposed to ask.
I open the
first.
door for most people.
But it's
generally.
different if it's me and you, because it's like, okay, these guys open the door for me. Whereas if I'm in a wheelchair or I have crutches or whatever, then it's like, oh, this guy's fucking thinks I can't do shit by myself. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know that I can outrun. I
Well,
know
just
that there are
ask.
some things you're not capable
Just
of.
ask.
No.
You
I'm gonna
ask.
be I would open the door for most people.
I started asking.
If a man
I
in a
started
wheelchair-
asking once I learned. I started asking, and I had one guy be like, "Nah, I can do it myself."
Chapter 2 is it's hygiene. Opens with another quote from Wayne James, and he says, "I can live anywhere with the 3 B's: beaches, bougainvilleas, which are like a type of flowers, and bidets." That's the quote that opens the
And
chapter.
bidets.
Yeah.
So I need beaches, flowers,
That's a
and
pretty
a toilet
pretty
that
high standard for
toilet
life.
that washes my ass.
yeah. And my asshole to be cleaned with pristine water and be near a beach, which
No,
exists
I'm
for
not
like
gonna shit
2%
on.
of
I'm
people.
not gonna pun. I'm not gonna shit on the bidet, but I kind of want to try the bidet. The bidet seems like it works. It cleans your asshole up or whatever. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Is it like a regular thing in Europe? Like everybody has bidets?
I think it's pretty common in Europe. It probably should be common.
Is
in
it just because the United States are like more homophobic and we just don't even want anything going up our
I
ass?
don't think so.
You don't think
Because like
so?
Middle Eastern countries use bidets too.
Really?
Yeah, but it's a different kind of
Different kind of
Like
a non-homophobic.
You know they
but-
kill people in Saudi
But
Arabia.
I'm-
right?
but you get what I'm
Like,
saying, though.
That's literally as homophobic.
But
as
you
it
get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
a different,
like-
like culturally, it's a different kind of like the American masculine, like super macho. I'm an American fucking.
Having
Oh,
9
come
wives is
on.
about as macho as it gets, dude.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's
what I'm trying to say.
it's
Yeah.
even more of a macho. Like Latin
Yeah,
America.
But you don't think that's part
America
of
doesn't have a thing on macho. Like Latin America is hugely.
it?
Oh,
Sure, and I'm sure they wouldn't use bidets either.
Well, that's
Uh,
just more of a water thing. We're like we got trouble with water. We're not just using it to throw up our assholes. So
That does prove how advanced your country is. You could just shoot. You could just shoot water.
It's like we have trouble just drinking that.
But
We're
what about the Middle East though?
Huh?
They got water issues, right? The Middle
Yeah,
East.
But I'm sure the countries. But I'm sure the countries that are using, like Saudi Arabia, like the UAE, and like the rich ones, I'm sure they have. I don't think Yemen is really big on fucking bidets and shit.
A lot of times they either have bidets or they have like a pitcher of water that you fill up and then you pour down your backside.
Really? You know, that just seems.
Bidet is like, if I'm pouring a pitcher like from my head to my ass,
Yeah.
that's a little fucking.
I feel like America, it's like do it yourself kind of. It's like, here's a piece of paper, clean yourself up.
I don't know what the fuck it is,
communist
dude.
water.
Not it's like summer and people just aren't wearing just basic. There's a guy on the bus coming over here who can't. It's a pretty much empty bus, which pissed me off more because I'm sitting by myself in a little aisle, and he comes up and he sits next to me, and he just smells like shit.
I think it should be illegal not to wear deodorant.
Fucking disgusting. So then, next stop, I like got up and like moved to like another, and then he looked at me like I'm the ass, and I'm like, no, you smell like shit. You suck.
Yeah. People are naturally terrible, and you should
Yeah. The public library where I visit a lot to get these books always has a bunch of different aromas.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
What do you think it
The
is?
beautiful
You
stench
think
of
people
urine.
don't know, or you think they don't care?
Well, with the public library, it is essentially a de facto homeless shelter. So I mean, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
There's like public libraries too where if the people are watching porn on the library computers,
That's like a real problem.
The librarians can't say anything. Like they have rules in place where they can't do anything.
Well, that's like some San Francisco shit.
What do you mean they can't say anything?
Most public libraries, there is a sign I've seen that's like, you can't watch porn in the computer, which you feel like wouldn't be that big of an issue, but it's almost at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I'll tell you about the guy at my job who. So I work at this. For the listeners who don't know, I work at this like internet cafe game launch place. We have this girl who comes in sometimes. She brings her two, like kind of mentally disabled brothers with her to play. They're both like in their 20s, and one of them he comes.
Are they
in.
mentally disabled or are you just?
They are. He has. I think he has like severe autism or something. But he comes in, and he'll get this computer like in the back by himself, and he'll just watch videos. So sometimes he just watches like strobe lights, just for like 20 minutes straight. And sometimes he watches other shit. So one time he runs out of you got to pay for the time. Whatever. He runs out of time. He comes up to me and he's begging me. He's like, "Can you turn the laptop back on?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, man. You got to pay for more time. You get your sister to pay for more. We can't do that." He's begging me. He's like, "No, you don't understand. Like, you have to turn it back on, please." And I was like, "I can't do it." And he's like, "I have to sign out of my account." And I was like, "Oh, he wants to sign out of like his video game account or whatever. Fine, I got you." So I turn it back on and then watch, and he rushes over. He goes to YouTube and deletes like 2 hours worth of internet history of twerking videos, and then leaves.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, come the fuck on, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Plus, about the act of like, 'cause,
God.
I mean, anytime I jerk off, it's very
paying money
impulsive.
to watch YouTube twerking videos.
Almost to the low. You might.
I think
worse than a hooker at that point.
Yeah, he has like. I mean, he has like a thing. So I don't think he know. But I mean, he knows enough to know that he's not.
He knows that asses are great.
He knows-
You can have an IQ of 20
He knows
and know that
enough
asses
to know that
are
you're not
great.
supposed to be watching twerking videos.
Yeah.
Because he was like sweating, and he was like, "You don't understand. You need to turn."
He was like 24, where he's like, "We don't have enough time. We have to save."
Because he was like, "Can you turn it back on?" I was like, "No," and he was like, "Turn it back on."
Yeah.
I was like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
Dude's about to throw you across the road. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back to this fucking just thesis here. This beautiful encapsulation of all.
I think this is longer than like Crime and Punishment.
Yeah, this is just 800 pages. I mean, we're just.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, he says. So here's some of the common male etiquette hygiene that you guys should be following. 15 minutes spent brushing your teeth in the morning.
What?
Is standard.
I do admit it. I feel like I'm like in the 1%.
What is 15 minutes?
15 minutes, your gums are bleeding. I'll have to call a fucking ambulance if I do 15 minutes.
I think this guy has some hygiene issues, but
Oh, yeah, he has OCD.
What the fuck are you talking
Brush
about?
your teeth 15 minutes, flick the light bulb 150 times so your parents don't do it. That's what.
yeah. And then after 15 minutes of brushing, you should wash your mouth out with a combination of bleach and water.
Bleach and water. What the fuck? The fuck is he talking about?
He says make sure you just gargle and don't swallow.
Oh
Yeah. Really, really pay attention to that.
Can you hold? No, because you
No,
can't.
you're not supposed to, especially after 50 minutes of brushing your teeth.
But I'm
literally-
saying
your
without
gums would fall
without
out of your mouth.
swallowing it and you just keep it in your mouth. How dangerous is it? Because that shit'll fuck
Not
you
great.
up, right?
I think you're falling in this. No wonder he's in prison. Okay, some people have died
Fucking
for
bleach
assault
and
of this book. How dark is your morning where every morning you have the decision whether or not this is it?
If my
Where
roommate,
you're like, you're gargling and you're like, I don't feel like going to work today. I'm going to swallow
my
this.
roommate knocked on the door, and that is another thing too. Is that I would be tempted to swallow the bleach.
Oh, almost every
5 out of 7 days.
Right, you're like looking at like Uber pools is really expensive. You know what? I'm swallowing today, baby. I'm done with this shit.
Say your uncle walks in the door, wakes up, and you're taking bleach into the bathroom. He's like, "What are you doing?" You're
Yeah,
like,
I'm done.
brushing my teeth.
You look back at him.
I'm getting ready for work. What the fuck are you doing?
God.
Yeah. I guess might be an added benefit where the bleach like whitens your teeth a little bit.
There's
too.
literally no. You would be vomiting. The vomit and blood that would come out of your mouth defeats any.
Whitens your
Yeah.
teeth.
But you would be clean, right?
No, I do. Yeah, yeah. When they're cleaning up your corpse for the open casket, I think.
Yeah.
So
I feel like
first-
if you spend that long on your mouth, you'd be like, yeah, leave my mouth open when I'm dead. I want everyone,
Yeah, I want everyone to see.
just how sparkly.
Yeah.
it
This
is.
is what it was towards the end. He was putting a lot of effort into those teeth.
Yeah.
But
And then he talks about showering.
God, what's his showering routine? Just
Well,
fucking
he
amino acid?
says the privates and armpits get a little dirtier. So
yeah. I mean, that's all a guy's shower is.
yeah. So
I don't know about
instead
you
of-
guys, but it's
so
just
instead of
balls,
using,
armpits out.
So instead of using water, use rubbing alcohol on those parts.
What the
Fuck is wrong with this guy?
You want me to pour rubbing alcohol on my dick?
Yeah.
You want me to?
To be fair, I mean, yeah, sure. After a weekend in Tijuana, you gotta really.
I've like took a shower before and a little bit of soap gets your dick. Like that kind of you rubbing alcohol.
Oh yeah,
on your fucking penis.
yeah.
just to get through the layers.
Yeah.
Like see the crabs jumping off like it's Titanic, just abandoning
Pours,
shit.
it starts hissing,
Yeah.
fighting,
Yeah.
wiggling like a snake.
Yeah, no, back. Like firefighter. Oh man.
He's very clean. It is kind of, I think, yeah, he does kind of like a weird, like, I think he has a foot fetish, and he also talks a lot about analingus in this.
What anal English?
Huh?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Is
You don't know what
eating ass?
analingus is?
Is that
Cunnilingus
is that
is-
eating ass?
Yeah.
Well, just say eating ass.
He uses analingus.
Yeah,
Not-
but
do not
wait,
say
let's
the
not
word.
dress up this act as any more than it is. You're looking an asshole.
Yeah, this shit.
Oh, don't.
That is kind of like there's a scientific term
Yeah,
for eating
for,
a person.
yeah,
out.
don't. Yeah.
It's not
Analingus.
scientific, it's just Latin.
Let's not. I'm not gonna give that term any dignity.
Also, what a fucked up way to use Latin.
yeah. Disgrace. The
Civilization.
original civilization.
Eating ass.
Yeah.
Analingus.
He also uses Latin for the term, I don't even remember the Latin term, but like when you put instead of using like the vagina, you use a body part to have sex with your penis.
It's just called sad. That's just called quantum.
What is he saying?
Like when you put your penis like in someone's like boobs or their thighs instead of their vagina. There's like he uses a
Please,
Latin
middle
term for
school.
that.
That's
Yeah,
just,
please
yeah.
stop describing the way that you describe sex.
Yeah, it's just
is
such a-
fucking
Like an
horrific.
android trying to describe love. It's
When
just,
you put your penis in some thighs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
oh my
like,
god, Jesus!
it really does feel like that's what Cole thinks sex is. It's like, you got a nice knee that
That's honestly
moist in the summer. You're
that's
going crazy.
honestly a warmer translation of what this guy says.
Oh god.
Who uses like Latin terms for that act.
Wait, so is it just good etiquette? Is he saying you got to work on like the joints before you get to the vagina? Like you got to fuck the
No,
boobs and the
he-
thighs before?
No, he's just I don't know.
Who the
like-
fuck would do that?
And he
I
says
feel like it's weirder than anything. Any fetish should be like,
Shit
oh,
you
let me-
see in
but it-
porn, and then in real life, you're like, I don't want it. That doesn't really seem great.
yeah, the idea that you're like, let me
Like
fuck those
the-
thighs.
yeah,
You're
the
like,
tit
there's a-
fuck.
You know, I did make there's a pot.
the
spot for
tit,
this on my
like
phone.
the titty fuck thing. Like, I put my dick.
That just
up
seems
in-
awkward.
Yeah, when you're having sex with a girl, I'm like, that doesn't. It doesn't
Plus,
seem.
there'd be
that
no worse
great.
feeling than like your dick not coming up the other end, or just being hidden, and she's like, okay, well, you could just go home. You know, you could just.
But he says, before analingus, you should always use an enema, and you should provide
Well, I
your
guess yeah. If you're gonna go
your
down
partner with like a disposable enema, because that's just good manners. And then before,
No,
I'm supposed to show up to my Tinder date with a fucking enema.
how insane would that be? You take like, do you have a condom? I'm like, no, but I do have an enema. And you're like, what hell are you expecting to get into here?
and you just say, well, I'm just being a
Yeah,
gentleman.
it's just a gentleman. Your asshole's gonna need to be clean after this, sweetheart.
Well, he goes a little bit further than the enema thing. He says before he gives cunnilingus, he always provides a douche to his partner.
Well,
That's a little fucking
weird.
ridiculous.
So when it comes to vaginas, I don't have that at all because that's like, again, any guy with a small dick, go-to opener. You just you put on a fucking coal mining helmet,
Yeah.
you go down there.
You wouldn't provide her with a complimentary
I feel like
douche.
that's kind of insulting to be like,
Well,
hey, I
not-
think
first,
your
aren't you
vagina is
not
so
supposed
gross.
to use douches? Are those
They're
bad
not
for the
benefit.
vaginas?
They're
Yeah.
not. They only make it smell better. They don't like do anything to.
It's also implying like, well, this is probably not great, right? So if you could clean,
Well,
how about you
I mean-
clean up the place for
I
us,
mean,
okay?
they're like specifically scented to.
For a guy.
No, not. For, what do you mean for a guy? They're
Who else cares?
They smell like motor oil and,
Yeah,
fucking-
yeah.
and football helmets and
Great,
shit.
I can go down on you forever. Shit.
a sandalwood
Smells-
scented.
Yeah, this guy just smells like a dive bar. You're like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah. That's part of, he also says if you fart, just say "Pardon me, please," and don't explain further. Just
I think that's
after
a
you
little,
fart.
I think the part of me would be too formal.
That's a little fucked up to me. If you release like a huge fart in the bunch, pardon me, please. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Weirdo, get the fuck out of my face. Stop talking to me.
Yeah. Also, I don't
Yeah.
think you need to announce
Don't
it.
say anything.
Yeah. You're just in a conversation, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Pardon me, please," and then you
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back to
You
the
start you start
conversation.
silently crying. Please forgive my family. I think my farting etiquette is, I think, deny it and then just keep moving.
I
forward
always deny. I've even done the fucked up.
to the end.
Man,
Blame it
high
on somebody
school,
else.
high school, I used to drop some bad fart. And I would do the thing of like someone else gets blamed for it. And be like, yeah, man, why the fuck did you drop it?
Dude,
In high
I
school,
go like full Salem witch trial.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Like fucking
Sophomore
pinning
year,
on
you,
somebody.
if,
in high school, you do it before the podcast, like half the time you're here.
No,
there's only 3 of us, so it's not like I can. You know what I mean?
no, but we care.
When-
we care
when
when we
it's-
leave the
when-
apartment.
I'm saying you
almost
can't
burn the
blame.
place.
Yeah, one time we had to delay recording the podcast
Like by
for,
30 minutes. Because, I mean, the diet of
Hey, it
just
wasn't 30
Cole's
it wasn't
leftovers
30
and
it wasn't
ramen
30
noodles
minutes.
has created.
And so we get to the next chapter, which is on sex. He opens us up another quote from Wayne James.
Wait, was that passion about analingus not on? What was that?
It's part of hygiene and sex.
That's part.
That's part of the hygiene part.
That's just
We're
basic
already-
hygiene.
We're already,
Yeah,
basic
ass
hygiene.
eating
to
is
give-
just basic.
Yeah, yeah.
Deodorant, shower, and also eating ass. It's just basic hygiene.
Chapter 3, sex. He opens up.
Is there anything about like just going to dinner? Why did he just cut to brush your teeth with bleach and start eating asses?
Dinner's after the
Yeah, it's
sex
like-
chapter.
Why don't you build up to the eating ass?
But so his Wayne James quote
Way
says,
to ruin me. You know, I'm going through all this to clean my mouth in the morning just to dive into an asshole
Yeah.
that night.
he says, masturbation may be the best thing since peanut butter. May not be the best thing since peanut butter, but it is certainly the best thing since petroleum jelly.
I don't even know what you're going for there. What, is that funny? Is that
What is
what is
I don't
that?
know.
What does he mean just petroleum? Is he saying like you would use petroleum jelly?
He's
to
just saying.
masturbate?
He's just saying.
No one
that
even
it's-
says it's.
Who says it's the best thing since peanut butter?
Yeah, that's not even a.
I feel like if you said that, I'd be like, oh, this guy's an undercover cop. Like if somebody said that's the best thing since peanut butter, I'm like, he's wearing wire. I'm like, this guy is. Who the fuck do you work for, dude?
Yeah.
This fucking narc coming in here.
And this chapter will teach you how to elegantly engage in sex.
Is there really any? Because I know there's this whole body's beautiful. All the sex I've had in my life, I would never describe as elegant. I would never.
Are you pretty?
You've
Are you
been
good
doing-
at sex? Or you,
You've been doing it wrong.
I would say I'm okay.
yeah, you're pretty decent.
But it is what it is, right?
there's a.
Let's say so.
Yours, it's a gross. There's dicks and vaginas inherently gross. I think it's shameful.
Wait.
You know?
So let's say you have sex, and then afterwards the lady was like, "Wow, that was very elegant, Kenyon." Would
I'd
that be a
like,
compliment?
I'd be like, come on. Yeah, I'd be like, yeah.
That ain't even. That's not really a compliment. Dude.
I don't think anyone who would fuck me would use the word elegant.
That's not a
for the
compliment. Yeah,
most-
you wanted to after be like, oh, that was amazing. Your dick is not to be like, yeah, that was very elegant.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
The way you just elegantly come in 3 minutes. Let me get around with
That was
my
very
day.
polite. And I'm
Yeah,
like, so it was bad. It was terrible.
Elegantly
yeah.
offered me a douche.
Yeah. Elegant's weird. That's a weird term to use.
He's kind of so he opens this up. He's very progressive more than I thought based off the cover. But he says so he says he starts talking about how there's 3 things that goes into your sexuality: your sex, which is male, female, or intersex; your sexuality, which is what you're attracted to; and then your gender, which is your self-determined identification.
That is pretty progressive.
And then he offers up the Wayne James continuum of human sexuality.
Oh, so you like stole the Kinsey scale? It's straight, incarcerated for 20 years, gay. I think there's definitely a spectrum.
You guys want to know the Wayne James continuum of human sexuality?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's so it goes very gay to the gay bisexual, and then bisexual gay, and then bisexual, very bisexual.
Okay, you could just. I think you're just. This is again the 800 pages. He's like, I have to fill all these pages. You could just.
And then straight and very straight. I don't know the difference between gay and very gay. In his
Yeah, well, I think you do. I think you kind of do.
Well, I think there is.
Yeah, I've met people who are gay, and then you met people who are like, oh, okay.
I just like how he presents it like a scientific like continuum of human sexuality, and the first one's very gay.
Yeah. I like how it's like, but it just goes back to like a 7th grader. It's like you got your super gay wad, gay. You know.
What do you think you fall in the continuum? Straight
In
or
his
very
continuum?
Straight? Yeah, straight, very straight.
I don't know the difference between straight and very straight.
No, not even that. There's the straight, and then there's like the guy who's a fucking pussy. But then also that guy might be actually very gay. Yeah, that guy might. I feel like
that's like the fart blaming thing.
What do you mean?
Where it's like they're just trying to deflect. Where it's like, yeah, just out crushing this puss. It's just like you did.
I think the very gay and the very straight. It's like like the horseshoe theory of politics, where it's like far left and the far right loop back.
Sure.
The very gay and the very straight.
Or essentially, they're fucking each other.
It loops back.
I think the straight and very straight, the only difference is like the hostility towards like.
Yeah,
the
for sure.
Because
also,
if you qualify your straightness with like very straight, then it's like
you probably.
Yeah.
But
I think
also,
anyone would look at that and go,
that are like pretty intense about every. I don't know.
There's like straightness.
Yeah. I met people there.
guess.
You always talk.
I mean, there's me dudes like every other word, like no homo. I met my friend the other day, no homo, and I'm like,
Yeah, but isn't that what I said? Like hostility towards non-straightness, like saying
kind
no
of
homo.
is.
I
You
mean,
what you're
yeah. I
saying
mean,
it
by
is or it isn't?
definition, I guess it is.
Yeah, it
You're
is.
like, hey, I just want you to know, I'm not. If you have to reiterate, I'm not gay because I think that's a very terrible thing.
He says 66% of the population is bisexual.
I'd probably say
And he
that.
says that's
66% of the entire body.
Yeah.
That's true.
And he says that's because most people are average in terms of like height, intellect, or whatever. And he says bi means average between
Well,
gay and
that's
straight.
just not even, that's not even like technically true on definition.
What the fuck?
So he says sex it should follow your young man's sexual development should go from masturbation when he's young to erotic massages to a trained professional.
What the hell is erotic massage?
And then that's when you should start engaging in sex with other people.
Wait. So you're saying you should jerk off, go to a massage parlor?
No, you skip. Wait, no, it's erotic massage by yourself and then train professional.
No, erotic massage, but from other people.
Okay, but
And then a trained professional
but
is a sex
massages
worker.
aren't. Well, that's
What is
the
an
thing.
erotic massage?
Like any massage.
Like just rubbing your.
I could
That's
never
true.
get a massage. I don't think.
I'd get a massage.
Like a
It
massage.
feels good.
Huh?
It feels good.
I feel like I would never be able to separate it. I would be like, so can I get your number?
But he says, so until you're old enough to have sex, you should become a master of masturbation.
Well, I mean, I think most guys have that down. I don't think that's something you need to write in a book.
I got my black belt at 13,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. I am a 7th degree.
Yeah, I want some Doctor Strange shit. I was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
prodigy. I became a master in 2 weeks, actually.
I also thought he was getting kind of away from his manly manners book in this
For sure, when you
chapter.
start talking about jerking off, when he's like, you should put the soap spoon away from the, and he's just like, oh, so you should be a master of masturbation. I'm like, is he gonna tell
What
me
is
to put my
erotic
pinky out while I'm
massages?
jerking off? Why?
I should I should pay people to give me erotic massage. I should just,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
I should be dating a girl and then be like, hey, can
No, you
give me an
should
erotic
pay. You
massage?
should go to massage parlors.
Oh, you're 15 years old. You jerk off a lot, and you should
Yeah,
take
so I'm
advantage.
15,
yeah, that's the
16,
first step. And
And I
not
should be going. I should be seeing Chinese prostitutes to jerk my dick while I get a massage.
yeah, but
I don't think that's
Crime.
That's
It's
not
illegal.
that's not etiquette. That's just
It's,
well,
it's a
the
crime.
etiquette
It's
part
not someone
comes in afterwards. You send him a handwritten note that says thank you.
so go buy
confession.
prostitutes and be nice about it.
Yeah, buy a
Tip 'em.
prostitute and then give him a confession. so I can-
Yeah, be nice to the police. Write in cursive.
Thank you for the sexual favors you gave me in exchange for money on August 13th, 2015.
So he says, by masturbation, he means all erotic self-exploration, not just your penis. And he says, so you find out what your pleasure points. Like some people, it's the stimulation of the scalp. Some people, he says,
Who
tracing
gets
your.
turned on by their head?
You might get pleasure from it.
I'm
Yeah,
looking.
Cole's like, you might get pleasure from. Cole doesn't even have sex. He just has his girlfriend rub his head.
He says some people, it's tracing your own lips with your finger. This
What
one,
the fuck is this guy? What's wrong with him?
this one was very specific.
How did he win any spot in the Senate?
Yeah, why did they elect this guy?
If I was the opponent, I'd be like, okay, I'm just going to read pages from the book. So, yeah, after rinsing your mouth off for bleach, he jerks off while rubbing his lips. I rest my case. I don't care what the hell's tax policy is. I'm not having this freak represent.
Masturbation is already like kind of gross, and that you're pretending like it's not your own hand. But if you're like rubbing your own thigh, like, oh yeah, baby, that feels good.
I think even if you go to Fresh, anytime you invest any energy in jerking off other than pulling up a web page, you have an issue.
Yeah, well, he says too much jerking off is
I like
bad.
saved a video once, and then I was like,
It's wrong.
No.
I found myself filling out for like a Pornhub like gold membership, and I was like, "What the hell's wrong with?" It was like type in your email, and I'm like, I'm gonna go outside.
This last example of self-exploration was very specific, so I think this is his specific turnoff. But he says also a firm massaging of the inner ankles, immediately followed by a gentle guiding finger from the area just below the inner ankle, leading to the instep, can inspire a penile erection.
He should be in prison. Yeah. He should be in prison. Lock him the fuck up.
He's also saying parts of your body that he's like, yeah, and you know what really turns me on is a nice rub of the elbow. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Can inspire a penile erection.
I don't like how he likes the word inspires weird. As if your penis is like, I'm fine. I had a thought today.
Yeah, and he says don't touch your own body with your hands. Touch your own body with your mouth and your lips as well.
Wait, what? Wait, he's trying to say suck your own dick? Also, if men could suck their own dick, we would never do any. Hey, I wouldn't be podcasting.
Wait, that's a good question.
For damn
That's
sure.
a good question. If you could suck your own dick, would you do it? You would do it?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Right, yeah.
Come on.
If I could suck my own dick, I'd probably never talk to anyone else ever again.
Are you fucking
This podcast
serious?
would be over.
Are you
Podcast
fucking
be over.
serious?
If I could suck my own dick,
You'd be sucking your own dick like regularly?
yeah, probably every night.
It doesn't feel like a blow. I mean,
It is a blowjob.
okay, I don't think you understand me. It's not sucking a dick. It's giving a blowjob. That's what it is.
But you're also getting your dick sucked.
Yeah.
It ain't sucking a dick.
He'd be in like a
sucking
permanent. He wouldn't even be able to stand up straight. He'd doing it so much. He would just be permanently.
It would literally just become a circle. It would really be like come to blood rage.
Fucking hunchback.
He just looks like the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. He says too much masturbation is bad, and you know it's too much when your strength becomes diminished and you're so fatigued you become susceptible to viruses.
Man, how much does this guy jerk off? I jerk off a lot. I've never gotten the flu. I've never been lying. Never had my uncle walk up. I'm just a skeleton sitting here. He's like, I'm like, can someone give me some water? I've blown out my arms.
Fuck.
I discovered Brazilian shit today. I've never been able to can't walk. Someone give me a Gatorade.
I don't have the arm strength to move the mouse. I'm just bashing my head against the keyboard, trying to get the video to play.
Your hands are like bleeding. You're like, I can't go on.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he also says it's a novice move to use external aids like porn.
You know, you can't have any snobbery when you're masturbating. You can't be like, yeah, you're a real noob move.
So he starts getting into out of this your own masturbation, erotic massage thing. He starts getting into more like etiquette tips about sex, and that's where like the douches come in.
Again, that's just weird.
And he says no gentleman should ever demand his semen be deposited in the mouth of the partner. Only mothers have the.
I don't know if anyone should demand it.
Probably shouldn't be demanding anything during sex.
Banging your fist at the table. Like,
Let him finish his quote. He says, only mothers have the right to demand that their children drink milk.
Is he proud of that?
Stop the episode. Stop the episode.
I'm about to throw my
I'm done with the podcast. I'm done with the podcast. That's
God.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like we need a moment of silence.
Who is the mother in that situation? Is the man the mother, and the woman whose mouth you're coming inside of is the child?
I don't know.
I guess.
Just a bad.
And he says, make sure.
Again, all things that could have gotten him losing that Senate seat. Say that in an open forum. It's like, yeah, before we pass this bill, I just want to quote Senator here on the. Yeah, so I think meeting adjourned. I think we all go home. We're calling a recess to really just.
I'm glad this motherfucker's in prison.
Yeah.
I don't ever want him to get.
Imagine if you
monster.
lost your election to this guy.
Going home. But guys, did you not? He's insane. He tries to sell you books.
He says he's always talking about how your local laws must be followed when you're engaging in sex. I don't ever think about legality. So
Yeah,
I don't know what.
I never like. Hey, we should probably keep it down. They passed a noise ordinance in this neighborhood recently.
He says after each casual sex encounter, thank you card should be given to the partner. And
That's weird.
Along with like a little small gift. And then
that makes it feel like it was. I don't like to think it's that much of a service.
That's such a desperate thing to do.
Yeah, if I started,
it's not desperate. It's gentleman.
No,
that's desperate.
Sad. Yeah.
If you're saying thank you, because you're saying, hey, this never happened.
Never happened.
Never happened.
You are. There should be a statue of you. If I handed her a gift card and I was like, yeah, I just really want to appreciate.
Thine pussy.
That's $100.
Thine pussy was the exquisite, madam. Thank you for the.
After sex, he says you should bring her a large bowl of warm water.
Bowl of warm water?
Ideally, limes in the water and then towels so she can wipe off.
What does he do to her? Where he still makes her act like a dog afterwards. What is he?
It sounds like a medieval thing.
Towels to get whatever the hell he
sounds like a medieval thing they thought would like prevent pregnancy.
Yeah.
Bring her a bowl of warm water and have her some rosebuds, preferably, and have her rub it on the lady's lips so that she fucking.
She's like, unchain me. Quit handing me bowls. Let me go. I want to see my children.
Alright, so we're back this week after the break. We got a very, very nice user review. And Kwame's now moving to Detroit.
There was a woman left a review. What was her username? Do you have it?
No, I'm not gonna.
Whatever.
I mean,
well,
you have
Detroit,
it in the shrine at your
Detroit,
house.
yeah, Detroit lover, 64. If that's what it, but she left a review and she said, so Kwame sounds cute. If you're ever in Detroit, hit a girl up. And you know what? I don't ever plan to come to Detroit, but if I ever,
I thought as soon as I read the review, I was just gonna hear your car peeling out in the driveway. you just see like flames going across as you're riding to Detroit.
I thought you were gonna show up in like Steelers gear. You kind of look like it.
He's like getting ready to. Yeah, how crazy would it be like? That Kwame guy looks kind of cute. Then you hear like a knock at your door.
What would the Steelers have to do with Detroit?
Huh?
What would the Steelers have to do with Detroit?
The Pittsburgh.
What are you?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know.
Pittsburgh is
I know it was a wrong team.
No, you're stupid. Yeah.
It's the Lions. Okay.
Only Cole would be like, cause I don't know anything about sports.
No, it's the Lions. I just got the wrong team.
Those aren't even. We're so far away from being men, we have no idea.
No, I know all the NFL teams. I just had a miscue. I'm a big NFL fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why are you saying it like that?
Go Seahawks. Russell Wilson.
You're just naming the two references you have in your head.
Nah, I got a Russell Wilson bobblehead. I'm a big Seahawks fan.
God, I'd hate to see Cole. This is like a Cole first date. This is really like falling apart. He's at a sports bar.
Give me an NFL team.
See you at a football game. Sharing with other people.
Give me an NFL team.
I'll
name
wearing
their
a hat
quarterback.
indoors, and it's fucking with a sense of.
I'll name their
The
quarterback.
Bucks, Tampa Bucks.
Jameis Winston.
Is Winston still the quarterback right now?
They kind of switched between him and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Did he ever get convicted for the? If you don't know, he was rape allegations when he was at FSU.
No, he's a football player. They don't.
But that never went.
I don't think you realize.
I'm saying that
That
never,
doesn't-
but he could throw a ball, so he doesn't need to obey basic.
that never went. That never went anywhere with that.
No, he also stole crab legs.
Crab legs isn't that bad.
Well, who cares? How do you even bring that up in the same breath? As
Yeah, what are you talking about? You stole some crab.
stole someone's
Also,
humanity
they
and crab
make like
legs.
no money. Poor as shit in college. Yeah, I'll steal some fucking crab legs. What are you talking
He
about?
did not make as a one of the best college football players.
You don't make any money. They don't get paid.
You don't
for this
make
shit.
any official money. Come on.
It is. It's fine. It's some plantation shit. What are you talking about? You can get kicked out of school if your coach buys you dinner. You can get kicked out of school.
Yeah, but they all do it.
What do you say?
They all do
The
it.
fact is they have to do it under
They
the
all
radar.
have to. They all buy them dinner under the radar. and
And
we're
he's-
supposed to pretend that
Dude, like, this shit is okay.
They
the
do.
Underground Railroad. They're sneaking them chicken tenders through a system of levies.
You don't think life as a college football player is?
Oh no,
mean,
I don't think it is.
It's not terrible, but it's
we
not.
make
but it
more
is
money
good.
technically as local comedians. Than
Yeah,
they
the
do.
motherfuckers do.
Technically, but they make stuff on the side.
Also, you're talking about the guys who like the 1% of guys who like go to the league. For the guy who's like coming off.
Yeah,
the
but we're
bench,
talking about
gonna be
the
shit.
1% guy.
What do you say?
We were talking about the 1% guy. Yeah, the rest of them get a bad end of the deal because they just get injured and have nothing to show for it. But
can't remember their daughter's name in their 30s and have no.
But Winston was definitely well taken care of in college. He didn't need to steal crab legs. Crab legs too.
Gave him a place to stay, a place to work. What more
Christ.
thing?
Yeah,
More than they want.
nothing brings the MAGA out of coal like fucking talking about some college football. On
Yeah, Christ, give him a purpose.
Oh, man,
Well,
you get these boys an opportunity.
You can tell. You can tell though, because if you're stealing something and you don't have stuff, you don't steal crab legs.
Crab legs are good. I'll steal some fucking crab legs.
Yeah, but they're good, but they're not like. They're totally in a
Also,
luxury.
crabs and lobsters used to be like the roach of the sea. I don't know why we're pretending like fucking
crab legs is like something like he obviously went to like the ice department. Like you can't just like that was obviously
really? You're complaining
you're
stealing
breaking
too
down-
bougie of food?
breaking
What
down the
is-
forensics of
Come on.
stealing some fucking
It was
crab
You
legs.
obviously-
don't believe in his sincerity because he went
No,
to
If
the...
you
It was
look at
obviously a
the
joke thing.
actual video of the incident, he passed aisle 4, which has the bread and the ice cream, and went straight for the crab
Yeah,
legs. So it's
so
obviously
he's a dreamer. That's his only fault.
So-
It's that type of ambition that got him to the top of the league. Okay,
do you think if you're stealing crab legs, you're stealing out of necessity, or you're stealing?
you're
because,
stealing for fun, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
yeah,
obvious.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
It's crab leg.
As a habitual stoplifter.
you never stole for
definitely.
fun when you were younger.
Yeah, I mean,
Middle school, you steal shit all the fucking time. That's what you do. It's fun.
No, I didn't.
You never did.
The only thing I ever stole was I stole. I only needed 3 pieces of like clovers for a recipe I wanted to make.
you stole clovers from a grocery store.
And so the thing was like a $25 little jar of clovers, and so I popped the top and I took 3 of the clovers.
God, that's such a white activity. That's such an innocent. I bet if you told the cashier, like, I took 3 clovers, he'd be like, stop talking to me and leave this. Shut up, Cole.
He was sweating
Get
on the bus.
fuck outta here.
Sweating. He got home and deleted his internet history and burned everything just in case they came for
You
him.
ever hear someone say something like that and you realize, like, oh, I'm a horrible person? like, what's your guilty pleasure? And, like, I put the wrong name at Starbucks. I'm like, yeah, I stole it on my brother's birthday month.
6th to 8th grade, I easily stole $600 worth of Slim Jims. every goddamn day. We used to get the little Slim Jims and the double ones that come with the little cheese
Sure.
packet in it too. Ooh, it was
You
the
feel like
shit.
you discovered like a cheat code in the Matrix the first time you shoplift. You're like, oh, you can just kind of
You just
do
take
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I stole a whole box of cereal one. I got a jumbo box of
Well,
Frosted Flakes.
they're just stupid if they didn't realize that you're.
Just put it under a shirt. Me and my friends, we walked out and had fucking Frosted Flakes.
The only other thing that I don't know if this is technically stealing, but so someone dropped like $125. And this guy came up to me and he's like, "Oh, is this your $125 that you dropped?" No, I said no because it wasn't. And he's like, "Okay, I guess I'm just gonna return it to the library that was like a block away." And so then after he returned it, I went to the library and I said, "Hey, did anyone return this money or return some money?" And they said, "Yeah, how much?" And since he showed me, I knew exactly how much.
Ooh, nice.
And then
That's a good move.
That's a solid scam right there.
Who's this guy
That's
returned to the library? 120. What?
is that stealing or not?
real. I
Oh,
mean,
it for sure is.
technically,
You
yeah.
are stealing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, why
But that
not?
guy was
Yeah.
never gonna come back for.
I mean, whatever justification you need to use.
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever the fuck you
for
gotta tell
sure.
yourself.
Hey, yeah. I mean, the
Yeah,
Iraqis wanted democracy.
Some poor kid who had to pay rent. Who's like, "Hey, do you have
It was on the university campus. I'm sure some poor kid didn't.
Oh, is this
drop-
when you were in college?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him.
I'm sure some
you.
poor kid
Yeah.
didn't drop
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if people
$120.
get robbed
Oh,
at
what do
gunpoint.
you do in a situation like that? When a guy's like, "Hey
Yeah.
man, is this like you 75
Yeah.
bucks even?" Yeah, it's
I
mine.
cut him off as soon as he, hey, it's, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, so Kwame's moving to Detroit after this week.
Cole was also. We should mention that you are moving.
Yeah, moving to LA. Pursue my comedy dreams.
Well, let's be honest. It's because your girlfriend got into UCLA. It's not like you're doing great. Let's not pretend this is about you. This is you. You are essentially the trophy husband of a better couple.
Yeah, my girlfriend got into USC, not UCLA.
Oh, sorry.
So-
So she'll have a seizure when she says.
Yeah, we're that far removed that we don't even know the difference.
Yeah.
between-
USC is the college that Lori Laughlin paid the money for her kids to go to.
Okay.
That's the Trojans or whatever. Isn't that
Yeah.
the basketball?
Yeah. So, it's got some status when the celebrities are paying their...
That's true.
Their kids
that,
to go
they should
there.
Put that in like an ad for the school, almost. Really, that was a great PR campaign. People are like getting felonies to get in there.
Yeah. So I guess back to the actual
Premise
Hell-
of the podcast.
Yeah.
Back to the whole reason we do this shit.
the self-help this week. How'd it go? How'd the
some of the manly tips, including brushing your teeth for 15 minutes a
Yeah.
day. I put a timer on my phone, got to 6 minutes.
Yeah.
It looked like a fucking vampire threw up in my stomach. It was my mouth was.
Oh, does your mouth bleed when you brush?
Yeah, well, I don't. Everybody's mouth bleeds when you brush for more than like 5 minutes. You're not supposed to do. You won't have gums after you do that shit.
Nothing makes you. I started. I did buy some. I bought floss because I haven't been flossing. Like I tell my dentist that I floss, but I don't floss.
That's everybody.
Yeah.
Because like you brush 2 times a day. You're like, yeah, if it's like my birthday or something. I mean, come on. What are we fucking?
I brush twice a day.
Oh, look at you.
You don't brush. How many times do you brush regularly?
Like once.
Once a day?
Yeah.
When?
I brush once
If I
in
have
the
to talk to
morning.
somebody.
Like, I brush as soon as you wake up. I brush if I eat. Like I brush before I go out. If I'm gonna go out that day, and then before you go to bed.
That's too much.
You gotta brush before you go.
That's
to
too
bed.
much. Your gums are gonna recede.
What? That's not a thing.
It is a thing.
I'm brushing too much.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Totally, it's totally a thing.
It's not a thing.
Who do you whose authority are we going to take on this?
He says some wild shit.
Yeah,
I'm not believing him on that shit.
But anyway, so 50 minutes a day, you can imagine your gums are going to be non-existent. They're going to pull back into your fucking
maybe
skull.
15 would be a lot. Yeah.
What do you mean maybe 15 would be? 15 is a solid
The point
amount.
is, I started flossing again this week, and I like nothing makes you feel more disgusting when you floss and then blood comes out, and you're like, oh, this shit hasn't been touched in.
Yeah.
in
It's like exploring an ancient civilization. You're like, it ruins cobwebs. You're pulling out cobwebs.
I couldn't brush for 15 minutes just because I'd have to wake up like 10 minutes earlier.
That's
And
because your teeth
I already
are
wake up.
made out of pure robotic steel.
My teeth are
You can brush for
my
72
teeth are
hours.
pretty good actually.
Are your teeth are pretty good?
Yeah, very straight. Never needed braces.
Have you ever had it? Never needed braces. I found that I keep waking up with like clenching my fucking jaw.
This is from the coke. You're like, this is weird, quirky. I'm like, yeah, you're high, hanging out with your loser friends. I'm always clenching my jaw at my buddy's house at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Screaming about 9/11.
I'm also looking at your teeth right now, and your gums are receding a lot.
They're not receding.
I
I don't know where you're getting this.
I can see
this
the very
brushing,
top
this
of your
brushing
canines.
makes your gums recede. Shit.
Can see
Do you
the-
believe that? You believe what he's saying?
I mean, yeah, that's a real thing.
How do you know it's a real thing? You just-
Heard that said before. And that's my process for thinking it's a real thing. I'm like, I think I've heard someone say that in passing. All right, yeah. You ever hear anything? You're like, I think a documentary said that or something. I don't know. He seems like a smart guy. I don't want to argue with him. If I see someone buy some food that costs more than $10, I'm like, yeah, I believe his opinion is therefore right.
Do you ever make things up in conversations just to?
I did it as a kid a lot. Like when someone's talking about someone I don't know, I'm like, yeah, Paris actually.
Every once in a while, I'll do it with someone now. I don't mean like that. Like I'll make a thing up. Like if I'm having like an argument with somebody at work or like a debate with a coworker, I'll just make up a fact. Like, yeah, but there was like a study like that said this. and they'll be like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I
Bullshit.
said, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fact check my shit?
Once you say there's a study, you kind of win.
Yeah.
Like-
You're like, oh, look at this. This dude reads, man. This dude is out here.
Yeah, he reads white papers on his free time.
This
so-
motherfucker has a pie chart somewhere to back this up. But bleeding from the mouth profuse. If you did that for 15 minutes every day, you would.
Yeah, that's a little
We
bit.
know
of a-
that's medically inadvisable.
Yeah.
My uncle has a bunch of bleach, so I
Did you
you
try the
actually
bleach?
try
I did
that?
not do the bleach.
well, here's the thing about
I
the
use
bleach thing.
Listerine. I don't.
And
I don't
also,
do
it didn't
bleach.
make any sense. Why would you want to show up to a date smelling like the thing that is used to clean up murder? Like that does not seem like.
Yeah, because your mouth would smell like fucking like.
Yeah, they'd be like, "What? So what the hell's wrong with? Just make out with the dead body you just fucking killed." I put it in my mouth slightly, and
You
then
mix it with water, right?
no.
Wait. Are you being serious right now?
Yeah. And then I gagged violently, and I called poison control.
That's not true.
I called poison control. They're like, "You're probably fine if you didn't." But it was horrible.
Did you tell them why you did it? What they said?
No.
Like what you said?
I said I read somewhere that cleaning out your mouth with bleach is good, and they're like, you should really fact check. It was like the most disappointed sigh. They're like,
They
"You
probably
really-"
with that like autistic bleach thing, they probably get it a lot.
Oh yeah,
they
they're
probably
like,
just
they're
thought
like,
you were autistic.
Yeah.
Like-
To be
don't
fair,
even
that's
get-
like the default assumption of most people.
How many calls do they get? Do they like?
Oh, they must be.
Yeah.
Poison control.
The United States, dude. Everyone's dumb. Everyone's so fucking dumb. We're killing ourselves.
You're calling. You can hear in your voice. It's like bleach again. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
bleach, it's a bleach.
You put your mouth to clean yourself out. You're like, sure you did. Sure you did. You fucking coward. You didn't have the courage to go through with it, did you?
Did it burn? Did it have a taste?
Yeah, it's bleach.
It
They use
burns?
to clean. It's
It also
horrible.
sounds like such a kid thing to do. You're like, bleach cleans, so you're like, I'm gonna put it in my mouth.
What does it taste like?
tastes like fucking bleach, dude. I don't even know
what is bleach? Is it like a minty, more of like a spice?
What do you mean? It tastes like a horrible cleaning solution. It tastes like a fucking get rid of a hooker.
Why would it?
Gone,
Why would it
dude.
taste minty? Minty like encourages you to try
Yeah.
it a little bit. It's not. They're not like bubblegum flavored bleach. Come on.
So the first two tips, which are of the more milder of the tips, can easily result in serious injury or death.
Yeah.
And that's just not even leaving.
These aren't even like tips.
Why
They're
did you
like
not mix it
etiquette.
with water?
Huh?
Why did you not mix it with water?
I kind of.
Are you doing okay?
Probably got something to prove.
Yeah, did we almost lose you?
I had like a note in my house.
Were you just going to go through with it?
Yeah, just sitting there like,
I think that pee episode still haunts me. Is like, this might be my chance to get rid of every last stain of pee in my mouth.
I don't think you were even trying to do the podcast. I think you were just about to do it. You pussied out and then came to the podcast. Like,
I tried it.
I drank some bleach for the fucking.
So that I tried to say the pardon me. I just farted on a bus after I
did
just
that?
farted.
You said,
But I don't know if you've ever like tapped someone on the shoulder, have them remove their headphones to be like, oh, this is a message worth hearing. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, listen to this. I don't appear homeless. I don't appear like I want money. I appear like a trusted member of this society. And then after all that, be like, hey, pardon me, I just farted. And then she like recoiled in horror. She was like, what? Because these are people on the subway that see people masturbating regularly. And it was like, I think I ruined her day. I think.
I mean, you would think about that constantly.
Like forever. You'd be like, what? Like, what? Why would he feel the need to say that?
That might be.
It was easier for a woman because I'm used to seeing violent disappointment on their faces.
Yeah.
I'm used to saying
well,
something.
It's not as. I mean, it's not as. You say that shit to a man and be like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Did you
A woman's just used to looking at me and going, oh no. So I mean, it was easy.
Pardon me. That would be the thing. If you were thinking about moving out of the city and then you're like, but you know, there's death, there's all this shit, there's homeless people everywhere. You know, can't get a job or whatever, and then someone's like, I just farted.
You're like,
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
But she went and got a Greyhound ticket that evening. It just went and started a new life. So, so 3 of the milder tips result in death, probably. Receding gums at the really the least. Mostly profuse bleeding, and then probably getting punched on the subway if you keep saying, pardon me, I just farted. Also, just why the hell would you say that?
Have you ever thought about the idea of just being, like, sometimes I'll see somebody be,
not you.
No, see somebody on the subway or wherever, just in public, like being crazy, or doing crazy shit. And I'm like, what if I'm just more crazy and it shakes them out? Like some guys, like, you ran on the subway, you walk up and go, pardon me, I just farted. He's like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
You fucking
get your life together.
You just gotta defend yourself with more shit.
Dude, the subway is just such a good self-esteem boost because you feel like shit about your life. You're like, I'm not doing great. I don't have enough money saved. And you see someone who's just drunk as shit at like 2 in the afternoon. You're like, okay, at least I'm not. Like, I'm doing okay. You know. So, yeah. So that was the tips I did. Did you do any, Kwame?
What do you say? I did the brushing shit. I absolutely did not do the bleach or the farting things. I could not go through but I did brush my teeth.
Situation where you have to say to me, I didn't do the bleach or the farting thing, and I know what you're talking. And I'm like kind of disappointed on some level. That's a weird place to be as a person. to have someone say the bleach or the farting thing to me.